By most counts, Excel 2019 has just cracked 480 different functions. These functions include those you know and love, like sum or average. Some you may be intimidated by, like VLOOKUP, and even new functions like switch or if-else. Each function has its own special capability, its own unique purpose. But all functions in Excel, from the simplest to the most complex, use the same basic grammar, the same syntax. And once you understand this basic structure, you'll be equipped to quickly master any function you want to use. Let's take a look at how to do that. So here we are, the master rules for all functions. First, anytime you're doing any kind of calculation, you always start with the equal sign. This tells Excel that you want it to do a calculation, not display whatever you're going to write. Next, after that equal sign, you always put the name of the function, whether it's the sum or word count or VLOOKUP or if error, whatever it is. This tells Excel what type of calculation you want to do and sets you up for the next step. All functions have open and close parentheses after the name. And within those parentheses will go the variables, or the stuff that makes this function go. These variables, which are always separated by a comma, are the only things that change across functions, and are set by the function name. That's it. All functions start with an equal sign, then the name of the function, then open and close parentheses within which go the variables. Once you understand this universal concept, the only real question you need to ask yourself is, what variable does this particular function need? Let's give this a try in a blank Excel file. I'm going to start by entering in that basic syntax. We start with the equal sign, then the name of the function. We'll use a common one like sum, and then those open and close parentheses. Note when I first hit the open parentheses, it's going to give me the names of some of the variables, and when I close those parentheses, it disappears. However, note this little button just to the left of the formula bar, the FX button. If you give that button a click, you're going to get this really useful dialog box. It'll appear on the right-hand side in Max. And what this dialog box will do is give you all of the additional information you may need to understand the variables. First, note that the variables are listed here at the top with the required variables as bold. If I click on additional variables for sum, you see these are all optional. I really only need one range of cells to sum. Also note just below that you get a nice description of that variable, including what Excel is expecting in this variable area. A logical value and text are ignored in cells. If you're still confused about how to use this function, note the Help on this function button at the bottom. This will open up Microsoft's help files on your web browser, and it will include a variety of detailed information, including things like common problems that you may come across when using this function. Let's take a look at this on an even more complex function, the VLOOKUP function. Once again, we'll use the basic grammar, the syntax for all functions. Start with the equal sign, then the name of the function, in this case VLOOKUP, followed by open and closed parentheses. When I put in that open parentheses, we see the variable names. We'll close those parentheses and then once again hit the FX button to the left of the formula bar. Note for the VLOOKUP, I have 4 variables, 3 of which are required, indicated by bold. The last one is not required, meaning if you left it blank, the function would still work and use the default setting of the range lookup variable. Now, VLOOKUP is especially confusing as a function because of these archaic, weird names of lookup value, table array, column index number, range lookup. It's really not clear what those are supposed to be, but note that as I click in these variable fields, I get these nice descriptions at the bottom, helping me to understand how this function works. And of course, if you're still confused, the Help on this function button, not only does it include more detailed descriptions, it'll include examples, it'll even include this video so that you can play to help get some additional information. And if VLOOKUP is still something that folks are interested in, let me know in the Q&A and maybe we can cover it in a future lecture. So if you remember that all functions, regardless of what they are, use the same syntax of equal sign, name of the function, open and close parentheses within which go the variables divided by commas, you will be equipped to create any function. And with that scaffolding, you can build cathedrals in spreadsheets. I look forward to showing you how. See you next time.